Hi there, this is Michelle Michael of www.spreadsheetyogi.com, and I'm here today to talk about using Find and Replace in Microsoft Excel. And this is a power tool, computer foundations that you can use in almost any program that you use on the computer. So Find and Replace is very powerful. And why is it powerful? It's because if you have a large document with the same word occurring a lot within your document and you want to find it and replace it, to do it manually could take a lot of time, and this is going to really speed that up, and it's also going to get rid of the possibility of typos and inconsistency or even missing some, because we're letting the program do the work for us. So it's great for consistency and quality and saving time. Alright, so now I've convinced you need to know how to do this. Let's look at it. Alright, so I'm going to pull up Microsoft Excel, and here's an example spreadsheet with some phone and radio inventory information. We've got manager, team, how many phones they have, what kinds they are, and whether they have radio or they're just plain phones. And then you'll notice at the bottom we have two tabs, corporate location and satellite location. Alright, so now in your use case you might have a spreadsheet with tons and tons of data, which is where this is Find and Replace is really powerful, but I wanted to do a little example for this video. So we're going to take the word phones, which is not very descriptive, and replace it with something slightly more descriptive and more something that matches the spreadsheet a little more. So we're going to replace it with regular phones, and we're going to capitalize the first letter of each word. And we're not going to go through and type every single one of them. We're going to use Find and Replace. So here's the trick. Control F as in find. We'll open the dialog to get started. So find what? We're going to find phones. Click on Replace with regular phones. And just say Find Next, Replace, and you'll see it replaced it, and it popped over the next one automatically. You replaced it, it pops to the next one. That's great. It just makes our work faster. So we just click until they're all replaced. But we have another spreadsheet, and we don't want to replace the phones here, so this sheet's done. So let's look at our options in Excel. So we can find and replace within a sheet, which we have done, or we can find and replace within the whole workbook. So let's do that, and that way it'll go ahead and get the next sheet. So let's go Find Next. No, we don't want those. Oh, here we go. We're on the other sheet now. We do want to replace that. So replace. And notice that it keeps finding the ones that we've already done. And the reason for that is the word phones is in those. So it says, do you want to replace this phones with regular phones? So no, that would become regular phones. That would be no good. So if you change it to match case, then it's probably not going to find a lowercase phone. So let's see. No. Okay, so that's something you can do. You can match case. You can also say match on the entire cell contents. So only cells that only contain the word phones will be replaced. So those are some safeguards you can use depending on your situation. So that's Find and Replace in Excel. Some fancy stuff. You can choose sheet or workbook. Match case is in pretty much every program. And then match entire cell contents, of course, that's going to be Excel only. Alright, so there we go. We've replaced that simple word phones with regular phones. I'm going to go ahead and do one more quick example just to show you one more example. Let's say I wanted all these X's to be changed to the word yes. So I'm going to do Control Find, and it still has the last thing I did in there. That's okay. I can just change it. I'm going to find an X. I'm going to replace it with a capital yes. I do want to match the case on the X, and I want to make sure that it only matches cells that only contain an X. Like we don't want the name Javier over here. This X, we don't want that X to replace with yes. Alright, so these should safeguard us against that. So Find Next, replace, and just keep hitting replace as long as it looks good. Now you could say replace all, but that's dangerous if you didn't safeguard against some condition. Couldn't find a match, but I want the other sheet. Oh, that's because I don't have workbook selected. So let's go ahead and find the next. And we should be good to go here. Yep. Just changing them. Could not find a match. Let's just double check. They're all changed to yeses. And we're good to go. Cool. So that's find and replace in Excel. Remember, this works in pretty much every program. Thank you for joining me on this quick tutorial. If you'd like to hear more tips, please visit my website at www.spreadsheetyogi.com.